हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल द सोलफुल डायरी। आज के वीडियो में हम बात करेंगे टी.एस. एलियट और उनकी पोम स्किम्बलशैंक्स के बारे में। पोम को पढ़ने से पहले हम जान लेते हैं टी.एस. एलियट के बारे में। T.S. Eliot or Thomas Stearns Eliot was born in St. Louis, Missouri, United States. He was educated at Harvard, graduated in philosophy at the Sorbonne and Merton College, Oxford. He settled in England, where he eventually became literary editor for the publishing house Faber and Faber. In 1927, Eliot became a British citizen. He founded and edited the influential literary journal Criterion. He was greatly influenced by the work of Ezra Pound. He was a representative of modernist work. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature in the year 1948. His major works include The Waste Land, Four Portraits, and the play Murder in Cathedral. Eliot's awards and honors include British Author of Merit, the Nobel Prize for Literature. His play Cocktail Party won the 1950 Tony Award for Best Play. Eliot wrote the cat poems in the 1930s and included them under his assumed name Old Possum in letters to his godchildren. He loved cats and owned many during his life. He was fond of giving them peculiar names like Jelly Lorem, Petty Paws, Whiskas, and George. Skimbleshanks is a character in Andrew Lloyd Webster's 1981 musical. It was inspired by Eliot's book. Skimbleshanks has been projected as a bright and orange colored cat who lives and works on the nightmare. पोम को इन डेप्थ जानने से पहले जान लेते हैं उसके कुछ की फीचर्स। द पोम फोकसेस ऑन अ cat who manages a train. He is presented as the most important character in the poem, without whom the train cannot run. The poem is humorous in nature. क्या कोई cat ट्रेन को मैनेज कर सकती है, रन कर सकती है, सिग्नल कर सकती है? Well, in this poem, he is attributed with the roles of a supervisor, station master's friend, or even a patrolling police officer. He is present at the bagman playing cards. He roams in the first class as well as the third class. Since the passengers are quiet at night, and it leaves an impression that he is responsible for such calm and quiet atmosphere of the train. At every station, the cat gets out of the train and refreshes himself. In the morning, when one reaches their station, one can see Skimble in front of them bidding goodbye. He gives a wave of his long brown tail and tells, "I will see you again." In other words, the poet describes the importance and significance of Skimbleshanks and presents him as the most important passenger aboard the train. Eliot portrays how the cat caters to the needs of the passengers and the general security of the train. Line 1 to 4. There's a whisper down the line at 11:39. When the night mail's ready to depart, saying, "Skimble, where is Skimble? Has he gone to hunt the thimble? We must find him or the train can't start." The opening lines of the poem tell us something important is about to happen. The train, called the night mail, is all set to leave, but Skimble, who seems to be an important person, is missing. The train literally cannot depart without him. The question, "Has he gone to hunt the thimble?" is a humorous way of expressing concern. A thimble is a small swing tool and likely to be something Skimble would be looking for, so it hints that he might be distracted or simply not where he should be. Line 5 to 8. All the guards and all the porters and the station master's daughters, they are searching high and low, saying, "Skimble, where is Skimble? For unless he's very nimble, then the night mail just can't go." A large number of people involved in the search. Who are the people searching for Skimble? Guards who are responsible for the safety and security of the train, porters who help passengers with luggage and boarding, station master's daughter. This detail suggests everyone available is coming forward to help find Skimbleshanks. They are looking everywhere they can think of to find Skimble, as Skimble's absence is a major obstacle to the train's departure. The night mail cannot travel unless Skimble is moving in it. Line 9 to 12. At 11:42, then the signal's nearly due, and the passengers are frantic to a man. Then Skimble will appear, and he will saunter to the rear. He has been busy in the luggage van. At 11:42, the train is due, to which everybody is worried and restless. To a man is an idiom meaning including everyone, in this case all the passengers. Then Skimbleshanks appeared just in time and walked to the back of the train. He had been occupied with the task at the luggage van. Line 13 to 16. He gives one flash of his glass green eyes, and the signal goes, "All clear," and we are off at last for the northern part of the northern hemisphere. With a simple action, Skimbleshanks ensures the train departures on time. The flash could be Skimbleshanks' way of signifying that whatever he was doing in the luggage van is complete. All clear indicates the signal has changed, now allowing the train to proceed. The delay is over and the train is finally moving. The train is set to travel a vast distance to the northernmost part of the northern hemisphere. 17 to 24. You may say that by and large it is Skimble who is in charge of the sleeping car express. From the driver and the guards to the bagman playing cards, he will supervise them all, more or less. Down the corridor, he paces and examines all the faces of the travelers in the first and the third. He establishes control by a regular patrol, and he would know at once if anything occurred. Skimbleshanks hold a position of authority. It's an official position, but a generally accepted fact. Skimbleshanks supervises and keeps an eye on the driver, guards, and bagmen. Sleeping car express implies a luxurious train with compartments for passengers to sleep, hinting at a comfortable and smooth journey. Skimbleshanks is vigilant and patrols around and also observes the passengers in all the compartments. Skimbleshanks has an almost supernatural awareness of everything happening on the train. Line 25 to 32. He will watch you without winking, and he sees what you are thinking. And it's certain that he doesn't approve of hilarity and riot. So the folk are very quiet when Skimble is about and on to move. You can play no pranks with Skimbleshanks. He is a cat that cannot be ignored, so nothing goes wrong on a northern mail when Skimbleshanks is aboard. Skimbleshanks is very serious about his work. He stares intently at everyone, and he can read minds as well. Everyone is quiet when Skimbleshanks is on his rounds because he does not accept trickery behavior. Nobody dares to play pranks on him. Due to the watchful nature of Skimbleshanks, nothing could go wrong on the train when he is aboard. Line 33 to 40. Oh, it's very pleasant when you have found your little den with your name written upon the door, and the berth is very neat with a newly folded sheet, and there's not a speck of dust on the floor. There is every sort of light. You can make it dark or bright. There's a handle that you turn to make a breeze. There's a funny little basin you are supposed to wash your face in, and a crank to shut the window if you sneeze. These lines focuses on the passenger's experience and the comfort provided by the train compartment. It is an absolute pleasure for the passengers to enter the train compartment bearing their name. The berth is neat with a freshly folded clean sheet. The train has all kinds of facilities: a handle to open the window to let the air in, a basin to wash your face, and a handle to shut the window if you find the breeze too cold that makes you sneeze. A vivid picture of a well-appointed and comfortable train compartment is painted by details like personalized names, clean bedding, adjustable lighting, highlights the luxurious nature of the sleeping car express. 1 to 50. Then the guard looks in politely and will ask you very brightly, "Do you like your morning tea, weak or strong?" But Skimbles just behind him and was ready to remind him, for Skimble won't let anything go wrong. And when you creep into your cozy berth and pull up the counterpane, you ought to reflect that it's very nice to know that you won't be bothered by mice. You can leave all that to the railway cat, the cat of the railway train. When passengers were settling in, a guard would come to ask how they would like their morning tea, weak or strong. Skimble would be right behind the guard to ensure that he gets the passengers' morning tea as per their liking, because if the guards forget, Skimbles could remind him. As passengers pull off the bedspread to sleep in their cozy berth, they can be assured that there would be no mice under their bed, all thanks to the railway cat. Thus, with Skimble around, nothing could go wrong. These lines emphasizes on passengers' comfort and subtly connects it to Skimbleshanks' presence. The humor lies in his self-importance and the implication that even small details like tea service falls under his watchful eye. The readers have a sense of security and appreciation for Skimbleshanks' unique role on the train. 51 to 59. In the watches of the night, he is always fresh and bright. Every now and then, he has a cup of tea with perhaps a drop of scotch while he is keeping on the watch, only stopping here and there to catch a flea. You were fast asleep at Crewe, and so you never knew. Then he was walking up and down the station. You were sleeping all the while. He was busy at Ellerslie, where he greets the station master with elation, but you saw him at Dumfries, where he speaks to the police. These lines portray Skimbleshanks' dedication and tireless work ethic throughout the night, using some interesting imagery and humor. Skimble is alert and fresh. This is because he has tea, possibly with a shot of alcohol. He only stops to catch a stray flea on the train. While all passengers on board are fast asleep, Skimbleshanks inspects the station at Crewe, happily greets the station master at Charlesley, and inquires after policemen at Dumfries. These lines paints a picture of Skimbleshanks as a dedicated and vigilant protector. He remains alert and active throughout the night, taking small breaks for refreshments and personal needs. The contrast between the passenger's sleep and his activity emphasizes his unseen contribution to the smooth running of the train journey. Line 60 to 66. If there is anything they ought to know about, when you get to Gallowgate, you do not have to wait, for Skimbleshanks will help you to get out. He gives you a wave of his long brown tail, which says, "I will see you again." You will meet without fail on the midnight mail, the cat of the railway train. When the train finally stops at Gallowgate, Skimble helps the passengers to get off the train. He waves his long brown tail to bid farewell to the passengers. His tail appears to say, "Till we meet again," and you are sure to meet the railway cat aboard the midnight mail on your next journey. These lines create a sense of bond or connection between Skimbleshanks and the passenger. It leaves the reader with a positive and memorable impression of the cat and his role on the train. The poem ends by emphasizing the cyclical nature of the journey and the possibility of future encounters with Skimbleshanks, the ever-present guardian of the midnight mail. Poetic devices: alliteration, repetition of a consonant sound at the start of closely placed words. He will watch you without winking, and he sees what you are thinking. Sing Skimble. Where is Skimble? For endless, he is very nimble. Imagery refers to the words and phrases used to help the reader form images that focuses on their senses of smell, touch, sight, hearing, and taste. The poem provides vivid details through descriptive language, newly folded sheet, creating a sense of comfort and cleanliness. And the berth is very neat with a newly folded sheet, and there's not a speck of dust on the floor. Another visual imagery in the poem is when Skimbleshanks' eyes are described as green, like the green signal of the train. He flashes his eyes, and the signal mimics the color of his eyes. He gives one flash of his glass green eyes, and the signal goes all clear. Hyperbole refers to exaggeration, and we are off at last for the northern part of the northern hemisphere. The northern part of the northern hemisphere is the North Pole. This is an exaggeration and implies that the train goes to the northernmost part of Britain. Metaphor: in the watches of the night he is always fresh and bright. Uses a metaphor to describe Skimbleshanks' alertness throughout the night. Personification: to personify is to give an animal or inanimate object human traits. In the poem, Skimbleshanks is described as a human being. He is a figure of great importance in the train's operation. Skimbleshanks is shown greeting the station master and speaking to the police, giving him human-like qualities that showcase his role as an unofficial guardian. Where he greets the station master with elation, but you saw him at Dumfries, where he speaks to the police. When the guard and the passenger about his preference of tea, but Skimble's just behind him and was ready to remind him, so that the guard does not forget the passenger's preference and the passengers have a good travel experience. Skimbleshanks is described with human actions and behavior again. He has a cup of tea with perhaps a drop of scotch. He drinks tea when he keeps watch, greets the station master, and speaks to the police. This makes him seem more important and in charge. Perfectionism. Skimbleshanks is a perfectionist who deeply cares for every passenger's railway experience. He arrives at the scene just in time so that the train leaves on schedule. He supervises everyone on board and ensures there is peace and quiet on the train so that the passengers can sleep well. He ensures the experience is perfect with the berth is very neat with a newly folded sheet and there's not a speck of dust on the floor. Skimbleshanks is such a perfectionist that he can judge the thoughts and needs of the passenger just by looking at their faces. He does not differentiate between the passengers traveling in the first class and the third class compartment. Nothing is hidden from the railway cat, that is the Skimbleshanks. Duty and responsibility. Skimbleshanks, the railway cat, takes his job very seriously. The poem highlights the importance of dedication and of finding pride in fulfilling one's responsibilities. Skimbleshanks' dedication and efficiency make him a vital part of the train's operation. Figure of authority. Skimbleshanks stands for an authority figure who plays a very important role in the smooth functioning of the train. He is kind and benevolent and demands respect. He appears just in time and then the train signal turns green. It then heads towards north. Being an authority figure, he influences all the railwaymen, from the driver and the guards to the bagmen playing cards. He will supervise them all, more or less. The authority figure needs to be aware of at all times. He examines the faces of all passengers, irrespective of the compartment class they travel in. He is so sharp that he knows what all someone is thinking just by looking at the face. Skimbleshanks checks the stations and collects news from the station master and policemen, while all the passengers are fast asleep. Everyone can sleep peacefully with the assurance that the authority figure is taking care of everything. Train journey. The train is a night train from London to Scotland across the length of Britain. Skimbleshanks ensures a comfortable train journey for all passengers. The compartments in the train are neat and clean. Compartments have lights that could be made dim or bright. The cabin has a fan, a wash basin, and a window handle to open and shut the window closed. The guards are polite and inquire about passengers' preference for tea. The passengers have a good night's sleep, and when the destination arrives, Skimbleshanks ensure that all passengers get off the train with ease and promises another luxurious journey when the train passenger takes this train again. थैंक यू। आई होप आज की वीडियो आपको अच्छी एंड इन्फॉर्मेटिव लगी। अगर अच्छी एंड इन्फॉर्मेटिव लगी तो लाइक, शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब टू आवर चैनल। आप हमें कमेंट करके बताइए कि आप नेक्स्ट वीडियोस किस टॉपिक पर देखना चाहते हैं। मिलते हैं कल एक और इन्फॉर्मेटिव वीडियो के साथ शाम 4 बजे।